Hello. Today I'd like to talk about using the rotary Dremel rotary tool and it's got many purposes, but today I'd like to talk about using it to sharpening knives. Now, there's a few things you're gonna need. A mask and eyeglasses to protect your eyes, and the mask for protecting your lungs. Now, it's the reason I say that was because this kind of becomes uneven when using it. So you'll have to use something. I purchased this on eBay separately because I like the stone that came with it to even this out. Of course, you end up getting a lot of grooves in here, and the one that came with it, you kind of using it to even it out, and I noticed that my fingers, the skin was getting scraped off of it. Now, with this here, does the same thing, but at least with this, I got a handle on it, and I can go back and forth like this with my fingers and hand at a safe distance away from it. So when using this, the dust that comes out of it, you want to make sure you don't breathe it in. And that's where the mask comes in. And that's where the eyeglass comes in too, because you don't want that dust and whatnot. Like I wear glasses, so it'll get on the glasses or underneath it and go in my eye. When I'm using this, whether it's to sharpen a knife or something else, and I go use one of these to even it out, I want to make sure, even if you don't have glasses, you still want to make sure you don't get any of that in your eye. And if you do, it might damage the lens a little bit, number one, which I wouldn't complain too much, but they can always be replaced. But if it gets in your eye, that's a whole nother ball game. You can't replace them. So when using items like this, it's always good to wear goggles to protect your eyes, make sure they don't get damaged, and the mask if you're going to be working with dust and whatnot, and you don't damage your lungs. This here I purchased separately this way because it comes in real handy, holding it like a gun instead of like a pen. And this came with it to help turn this here. Don't like it. It's small. It's awkward. So I went to my toolbox and got a 3/8 wrench, which comes on here, which makes it easier to turn to put on and take it off while you're holding this button here to make sure it stands still. So let's get started. Now, what you want to do. Okay, I put my prescription eyeglasses back on and my safety goggles. Okay. Now you want to put this at an angle while you're doing it. I keep forgetting to do it. Okay. So I turn this on, and then you adjust this here for the speed. And then you hold this at an angle. Now, there's going to be some metal shavings on here. So you want to make sure you clean that off before using it on meat. As you can see, it's cutting through paper. That part was never good at. As you can see, it's come fairly good. It just needs a few more runs on it. And once you do that at an angle, it should come out fine. Now, well, it didn't happen this time, but usually when I do it, it becomes uneven for whatever I'm using. After you get done sharpening all the knives that you want, and making sure you wash them after you get done to get rid of any pieces of metal that came off of it and it's going to stick to it, because you don't want to be using it on your food, like your meats, your vegetables, whatever you're cutting. So make sure you wash this real good. And now we'll come to, it doesn't need it, but let's see. This is how you work this to make sure it evens itself out. It doesn't need it, but I'm going to show you anyway, just so you get the picture. Now, this turns this way. You don't want to put it on this side, otherwise all that dust will be blowing in your face. And like I said, the reason for the mask and the safety goggles is just for that. So, because this turns this way, this will be shooting up towards you. You want to make sure that it's this way. This way, when it goes down, all that dust be going to the table or the floor. As you can see, all that dust was going in the direction it was rotating. And as you can see, it's much cleaner now. It was clean before, but because I use this here to clean it, it comes out a little bit better. Now, I'm always make sure anytime there's indents in something like this, you're always going to get these indents where it becomes uneven. So, using this at the angle like this, where this is circular, looks like a wheel, and this has a tip on it. So this here be going like this here, like this while it's turning, and this here, because it's got the tip, be going in an angle. You just move it back and forth while on here. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for stopping in. Bye, and give me a thumbs up.